Potential collaboration.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's why I drove.
Can I ask you, what kind of ideas did you have, or things that you're already doing to bring about positive change?
Well, just speaking for, sorry, NAS is organizing these sessions like this, which I think is amazing. I mean, that's amazing to organize it. Somebody's doing
And what else has anybody got?
I keep updating everything to chaos dynamics, because that helps a lot, having paradox and recursion added to the mix. And she was doing lucid dreaming stuff, which was interesting. And he can speak for himself.
Yeah, just I was explaining how I've been just caught up in a school cycle, so I feel like I've just been trying to upgrade my. God, I'm thinking of this whole Deltron lyric. I'm upgrading my gray matter, because one day it may matter. And just trying to exercise appreciation and to be there for my friends when they're going through it, you know, not to, you know, for those who will have me around, not to leave them in isolation as they're, you know, traversing tough times. Yeah.
So just to take positive steps.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the back row?
Oh, I mean, we didn't talk about it, but I think creativity and the arts are one of these areas where we start coming up with new paradigms and possibilities.
Yeah, so for a way through when people are having extreme experiences, they can work on the arts.
And also
There's a
the
difference.
arts can reflect back the character at greater depth. I mean, what does it mean to be human? I mean, we're always asking that for the arts.
Yes, I still haven't worked it out.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
And I want to I just want to mention one thing. People might or might not know. There is now, I think the latest DSM, look at the actual title, Religious and Spiritual Experience as a, do people know? It's been added to the DSM. So spiritual experience is now officially part of DSM. It's not reimbursable. I think it's not in that category yet. But I think David Lukoff and Robert Turner wrote the paper, and they finally got it in. So I'm surprised that the Western model now has actually allowed it inside the big book. It's out there. So that's, to me, that's positive, right, in terms of at least.
Yeah. Does it still accept psychosis as psychosis, or just spiritual experience?
I don't follow. Meaning, does it redefine psychosis as spiritual experience?
Yes.
The paper talks about it, but there's also a separate category for psychosis. So it's not like it's mutually exclusive. That category still exists.
Right.
So this is like, added almost towards the, as an addendum to the.
Okay. Yeah, that's David Lukoff's work.
Now that's my understanding. I may not be the best expert on it. Somebody who knows more into it might know actually.
His original formulation was mystical experience with psychotic features. They tried to get that in, and it was too far. But yeah, David and Robert Turner, I think Francis Liu, it's actually been in there for a while.
You know how long?
Is that the one they did
Several
here?
years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's had such an impact that now psychiatrists, as part of their cultural competency training, they have to have this coursework on spiritual competency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so things are changing.
Slowly. Slowly.
What about at the back?
Well, I I was talking a bit about blogging and teaching and also encouraging other people, like teaching people about blogging and how to try to get more people's different stories and voices out into the media and into the collective story that we're telling.
Yes, because it creates change. We might think it's small, but it creates change. Can be over a huge area, blogging.
Oh, yeah, and I was also talking about writing a book. How I feel I've been wanting to write a book about this, about some of these kinds of topics. And we also talked a little bit about how cultural differences exist so much, even within our our everyday life. Like even if we're not directly encountering, going to other countries or going into other. Even just within, people that we might think are kind of in the same culture as us, we all do have such different cultural beliefs and experiences and backgrounds and everything. So just like we were talking, I guess, about keeping an open mind and listening to people. I think, what's your name again? Jenny was talking about listening to people, like without any preconceptions, I think, or something. Well, you can share what you
Some point just talking about listening to where people are coming from and just the power of listening without judging or assuming things about what people think or believe. It's not really changing the system, but
No, but it's that listening, making the space.
Yeah.
Those steps that can make a difference to somebody. What
And
about
having a
you?
cup of tea. Having a cup of tea with someone.
Oh yes, no, I'm a great favour of having tea. What about here?
Well, just for me, I'm not really involved a lot in this field, but listening with some neighbours and just kind of at times, just being able to decode the system around us and give impressions of it. We have a neighbour, a young man who's had a bit of a challenge getting a job and getting into the system, and he's now got a job in a school with some restorative justice, and he's really enjoying it. But he's trying out, he's also testing, okay, so I'm there now, how do I test out some of the ideas and things? And, so it's very interesting.
And what about here?
We talked about the importance of making sure that you have a balanced approach, that you do as much self-care as you do social justice work, and making sure that whatever you do on the outside, you actually make sure that you're regenerating your own self in the process and not depleting your inner resources.
Amen.
Yeah, so you're looking after you.
So, my interest is in creating healthy business cultures.
Yeah.
So much more to say about it, but
Yeah, so there's all steps that we can take and that we are taking to create change, to support people, or to support awareness of extreme experiences and the stigma. Well, I'm going to finish there. Thank you very much. Very much. All right, tea time.
Can I put in a quick plug for my fellow MIA writer, Chaya Grossberg? If you want to get some really good reading and her ideas on Meta in America, it's a go-to great thing.
The website?
It's her blog. She's one of the writers.
it's a bunch of